PTA's in the house.
His paintings match my outfit, Sean. This is my fun fact of today.
Amazing. And who was Brandon?
Brandon is an Emmy Award-winning producer and host of Amazon Prime's TV series Success in Your City. Brandon's aim is to help you achieve your own version of success in life and mission. And it's a life mission he embarked on with his wife before they got married. And it's chronicled in their #1 best-selling book, The Road to Success, How to Achieve Success in Life. He's also a podcaster, speaker, author, advisor, crowdfunding expert, and media expert. And as a serial entrepreneur, he owns a stake at Accelerant Media Group, Young Entrepreneur Convention, and Success in Your City. So welcome, BTA.
Yo, I'm in the house. How are you all today?
BTA, dropping the mic. Listen, brother, what's your fun facts? I got an important question for you after that.
Yeah, my fun fact is how I first started making money was selling frozen water to people.
Amazing. Flavored frozen water or just frozen water?
Ice. The ice that you have in your drink.
That is amazing. Congratulations on an extraordinary beginning to your entrepreneurial journey. And Brandon, here's a question. Isn't an Emmy heavy? Like, doesn't that sucker weigh a lot more than it looks?
It does. I'm not in my house right now. Otherwise, I'd show it to you. But it's kind of heavy.
Yes.
My friends always joked with me. They said I would carry it around everywhere and just show everybody my Emmy. But I didn't. I put it on the shelf.
That is beautiful. And what'd you win the Emmy for?
For our TV series Success in Your City. It was on the story on Shea Hillenbrand, the baseball player who actually used to play for the Dodgers, who just won.
Congratulations on the Dodgers and all that. Yes. And fun fact for me is my sister, who is the youngest female director of a national network news show. She was the director of the early show on CBS, won an Emmy Award, and her kids like to play with it all the time and show everybody in our family how heavy it is. And Vivian, if you wanted to hurt somebody, you could hurt somebody with an Emmy. So Brandon, congratulations on your amazingness. And may you have many more awards and Emmys and all kinds of beautiful things. And hopefully you don't have to sell ice anymore. Yes?
Yeah, I sold that business. So I'm no more selling ice.
You exited from selling ice, Vivian. Brandon's in the house. BTA. Who else we got?
We have some fabulous judges in the house. We have the beautiful and outstandingly sparkly, AKA Shiny Unsel in the house.
Shiny, when last we saw each other, it was outside of the Tony event in Amsterdam, I think. So how are you, Shiny? And first let's hear about Shiny.
Well, Shiny is the creator of the global award-winning NeuroShine technology, an international training and coaching company. And she's a professor at UCLA Extension teaching leadership communication strategies and emotional intelligence. And I know COVID has made more changes and has helped you in different ways. So welcome, Shiny.
Thank you.
How are you,
amazing.
Shiny?
It's great to be here. I am fabulous. Thank you. I am definitely excited to be here on a second time. And I also saw you here on Tony Robbins' birthday here in LA.
That's right.
That's right.
I was there, Sean.
Yeah, Vivian was there.
Yeah, we saw each other at Tony's birthday. Yes, that was Amsterdam. So, and Shiny, how about a fun fact? You have many.
I have many. This one I like a lot. I had a little baby goat when I was like 5 years old. That little baby goat I named Fancy.
Fancy. Shiny had a goat named Fancy. This is an amazing day on the Rare Raw. Shiny, you are a person of influence genius, professor at UCLA. Amazing. So thankful that you're here.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So Vivian, but wait, there's more.
Oh my goodness. We have one hell of a personality in the house.
As if we haven't already, Vivian.
We have an evangelical pastor at America's Church in Dallas, Texas, by the name of Joshua Feuerstein I, as he's crowned by me. He's a social media personality with over 3 million followers and over 4 billion views. And get this, he generates over 1 million daily on e-commerce. He's also the owner of AdMonster, a membership-based program with exclusive content for leaders in tech and ad operations. So welcome, Joshua.
Thank you kindly. Excited to be here.
Yeah, Joshua, thanks for being here and what you're up to in the world. How did you begin your evangelical and pastoral journey?
So it was actually kind of funny. I started when I was 17. opted to not go to college, went to a semester of Bible college, traveled as an itinerant speaker for about 10 years, and I planted a church. Then I got into social media, as Vivian said, did over 4 billion organic video views. Then figured out that I could monetize it for businesses. And so we opened up an ad agency and started doing e-com and lead gen and all that wonderful stuff. So now I don't have to be one of those preachers with my hands out with a gold Rolex begging people for money. We actually get to fund all of the missions and stuff that we do. So
that's extraordinary. Super appreciative of that. How about a fun fact about you, Joshua?
Well, you may or may not love this one, but I do a pretty mean Donald Trump impression.
Can
Bring
we hear
it.
I'm telling you, okay, this may be the greatest show, okay? And I'm telling you, I've done a lot of shows, okay? But I'm telling you guys, even Sean can see they're trying to do horrible, horrible stuff to me, okay? Very, very bad stuff. But we're going to win big, okay? We're going to win very, very big.
Joshua is in the house. That is outstanding, my friend. And if I could drop in on a fun fact, may I, Joshua?
Me?
So, yeah, and it might be the right time to dig in on this, Vivian. So 23 years ago, I realized that influence was a superpower. And in that moment, I was in the process of going blind. Fun fact number one, I'm a blind person who taught a blind guy to surf about 5 weeks ago, and also had to win at carnival games. In fact, Vivian was there when that was happening in Long Beach Island, New Jersey, number one. Number two, I've been captain of the Columbia University baseball team. I hope to go on and play professionally as a 4-year Division I starter. And the eye condition of retinitis pigmentosa, which I'd taken my grandfather's my sight, well, not yet, was in the process of taking my sight. And so I went to law school. So I'm like, all right, I can go to law school. I'm going to race against the clock to earn a living and be able to support a family. I was the first person in my direct family line to go to college. But when I came out and got my dream job, I realized this. They did not put on the brochure that to make money as an attorney, you had to really develop business. Because I had this great job, highest paying associate starter salary, but I was barely paying my law school loans for my car and my tiny apartment. I'm like, this, Vivian, that was not on the brochure. You know what I mean, Vivian? Like, they did not put on the brochure, tiny apartment, like law school loans for like 10 years. And if you want to really make money as an attorney, you have to develop relationships and business. So I was like, wow, I got a problem, because I don't really want to sell or market anything, because I was not selling ice cubes as a child. In fact, I was like doing sports stuff and reading baseball cards. So I went back and I started reading books like Awaken the Giant Within by Tony Robbins, Successful Secrets of a Marketing Genius by Jay Abraham, How to Make a Fortune from Public Speaking, Jerry Spence's How to Argue and Win Every Time. And I'm like, I'm going to find out if these guys are full of malarkey or not, and I'm going to go for it. So I quit my job. I started my own law firm, $100,000 in debt on my credit card. And I built a 40-person law firm in 2 years and exited for multiple 7 figures. I built 8 other companies since, including I have a 125-person law firm I currently own, and I am the co-founder of Unblinded. And what we're doing here on The Real Raw, I think I'm still getting back to my fun fact, Joshua, related to you. What I'm doing here on The Real Raw, what we're doing is that this is, by the way, the 271st episode since COVID began, with amazing help. So thank you very much. Right. And we're unpacking influence as a superpower. Like, that's what we do. And that influence power allowed me to break sales records from Tony Robbins' stage. I've spoken on that stage 7 of the last 9 events. And I was the person that sold the most platinum partnerships from stage ever, by far, at multiple different events, but shattered the record at Date with Destiny, number 1. Number 2, when it was Tony's birthday, right before it, we were all in Idaho. And I was asked by them to say, hey, Sean, can you help us, with raising some money? Tony doesn't know about it. Sage and Scott Humphrey, her brother, asked me to, hey, hop up and help out. So I did. And when they were hoping to raise $500,000 for Operation Underground Railroad to save people from sex trafficking, we raised $1.7 million in 26 minutes.
Wow.
And 300 people.
Wow.
So influence is not a linear differential. It's an exponential differential, and sometimes an infinite differential. And that's what I've learned about influence. And final, I am one of only 2 attorneys in America out of 1.3 million to be in the top 100 national jury verdicts twice between 2014 and 16. And what I did, Joshua and everybody, 'cause this is real raw and open, I prayed every morning. And I pray with my mom, who spent 10 years reading Bible, doing Bible study in prison for people. She was not in prison. She would go and visit prisoners and do Bible study, including with all men. So she would be in there with all men in prison with no security guards. Story for a different day at times. And so in that process, I thought about tithing, since Joshua, you bring up missions and, pastors and things. And so I agreed to double tithe, to give 20%, not off the bottom, but off the top of whatever occurred there, not as a deal with God, but as something, far, far deeper and just pop for me. That was my commitment in the process. And so that allowed me in more than 7 figures to start my Callagee Christian Foundation, which gives to secular. I raise no money from it. It's only my tithing that goes through there. And I give to secular causes all the time, to spread the idea that Christians are not exclusive people. Maybe some are, but I'm not. And they're inclusive. And so I give to religions that involve gay rights and other things, to demonstrate unconditional love, lack of judgment, true connectivity. And that's what I'm up to. So I have never told that fun fact. Vivian, you've been here. You've never heard me say that, correct?
I kind of heard a little bit about your givings. I didn't know the specific number and which top or bottom you gave to charity,
right.
But I mean, you're just unbelievable. I know you don't want to be inspiring, but you are inspiring.
Well, I'd rather teach people the science of how to make it happen. And if it's a little bit inspiring, thank you. But I'd rather teach the science of it. But thank you, Vivian, because it looks like magic. It looks inspirational when you amazing people do what you do. But there's a science and a reason each of you have done everything that you do. So Joshua, you inspired me today with your story to share that. So thank you very much for being here.
Thank you.
Yeah. Vivian.
Yes, we have from Kansas City, Sheridan Sector in the house. Are you excited? Yeah, I see it now.
How are you?
Wonderful. Yay. From founder of Flourish, an award-winning magazine, to president of Sector and Associates for over 20 years. She's an event promoter, brand creator, media strategist, and fundraiser. She worked alongside multiple charities, has been in communication committees, to president of National Association of Women Business Owners, and her goal is to use all her talents to champion for women in business like herself and find success through partnerships. Plus, she's passionate about wellness, sustainability, and wildlife conservation. The way she sees it, Sean, the world is full of magic things, patiently waiting for our senses to grow sharper. A quote by Yeats. Welcome.
Yasha, how are you?
Thank you. Thanks for having me. It's so fun. I appreciate being here. It's great.
And what is your fun fact for today?
Well, I purchased a 100-year-old stone cottage on 10 acres inside the city limits. And because of COVID, it's been a little bit difficult to get workmen to come. So I've really just been teaching myself how to do a lot of things on YouTube. And I would say it's not perfect, but I'm all about radical movement. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be done. And I was intimidated at first, but I'm having a blast. I truly am. And so that's it. I'm also a beekeeper, a new beekeeper.
A beekeeper?
Not so good at it. Not so good.
So an additional, and how about this for a real raw fun fact? You're the second beekeeper that we've had on. Welcome, Vivian. Beekeepers are in the house, billions of views and things, and people with Emmy Awards that you could be a murderer in Clue with. It's amazing. It's real raw, and it's Why Wednesday.
Yes.
Vivian. And we have a role player.
We do. We have Michelle Etchebarren in the house.
Michelle is in the house. The Uber for lawyers. Uber for lawyers. Vivian, tell us about this woman.
Founder and CEO of Attorneys in Motion, the Uber of lawyers, and their court appearances. Not only did she create this company from limited resources, she did so as a single mom of 4. Plus, she grew the business to be a nationwide company with over 7,500 lawyers. She now offers freelance lawyer work so lawyers can run leaner and more productive law firms. And she sits on the board of a political action committee with the aim to diversify the bench. So welcome, Michelle.
Michelle E., what's up, my friend?
Raising the roof over here, you know.
Raising the roof, Michelle. If my back felt better, I'd raise the roof better. So, fun fact, Michelle.
Fun fact. Okay. Speaking of raising the roof, I'll go off of that. When I first started my first business and I was really poor raising my kids, I used to listen to the song Juicy from the Notorious B.I.G. every single morning. It was my get pumped motivational song. And I listened to it every single day of my life until I finally went from negative to positive.
Michelle,
How does the song go? Can you sing me a little
kick
bit?
it right now to Juicy and like do Notorious B.I.G. like honors? No, maybe later. So Vivian, that would be an amazing ending to today's.
I can't. I will. For you, I will.
Thank you. All right. So we have a lot of fun here, but we're about to get going with the game and make some things happen. And thank you all for being here, for your courage, your vulnerability. Michelle, thank you so much for being here from out on you're in California today, Michelle?
Every day.
All right.
Unless I'm in Long Beach Island hanging out, getting thrown around in the ocean with you guys.
Yes, that is true. We do that together as well. So thank you, Michelle. Alex, Brandon, are you guys ready to go?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, so we'll go this way. Brandon, I have a 1 or a 2 under the table. Do you think it's a 1 or a 2?
I think it's a 2.
Ooh, it is a 2. You're going to go the 1 in a late game shift. Amazing. So would you like to go first, or would you like to turn your new friend Alex and throw him under the bus and have him go first?
I'll just go first. I'll just I'll roll with this and see where it goes. It might get weird. We'll do it.
Yes, as if it's not weird already, Brandon, but thank you.
I know.
Right.
I know. The fact that Josh is on here, it's weird.
So, Brandon, what we do is we go from hello to yes. And not like Boiler Room meets Wolf of Wall Street, like heart-centered integrous. So you're going to have 6 minutes to go from hello to yes with Michelle. And it could be, if you like, just a longer discussion. Or it could be like pitching a new reality show, or a TV show, or a book deal, or having you speak on stage somewhere, or be an ideal client, or raise money for a charity. Whatever would be a meaningful yes to you in the world right now is what we recommend, but it could be any yes in the world. So with that said, Michelle can be anybody you want her to be, including herself, an ideal avatar, or heck, she could be like Donald Trump, Barack Obama, Joe Biden, a Supreme Court nominee, Oprah Winfrey, Tony Robbins, or whomever. All of those people have been represented on the Rip Off so far. So who would you like Michelle to be?
Michelle, man, I still want to go the Trump route, but I'm not going to. So I'm going to have Michelle be an investor. She's going to be an investor.
Love it. All right. So Michelle, you are an investor. Are you ready, Michelle?
Ooh, all right. I'm investor Michelle, gangster today.
Let's go, gangster investor. Okay. So Brandon, you can have 3 minutes in this first round. It's a 6-minute conversation, but don't worry about the timing. We're going to interrupt like at minute 3, and then Michelle will come back. You don't have to set up the other part. And judges, this first round we're assessing is how do Alex and Brandon open up listening and connect in a heart-centered way. So Michelle's like, I'm curious. There's congruence here. I want to learn more. So Brandon, you ready?
Ready.
Take us in, please.
So Michelle, first off, thank you for being here today. This is an interesting time together. How are you, first off?
I'm doing pretty good today. I'm out in California enjoying the sunny weather.
Are you originally from California?
I am.
What part?
I'm in Los Angeles. I'm actually near the beach, Hermosa Beach.
I went there 4 years ago, a great place. I was just in LA. I think I'll be there next month. It's I wish I could get out of Minnesota right now because it's like 20-some degrees out. So don't come to Minnesota. I do not advise that at all. So what do you do, Michelle? What is it that you do for fun?
What I do for fun is I'm sort of a philanthropist. So I like to help anybody that I can
just become better versions of themselves. I like to work on things that help our environment. I think it's important that we have something left over for our grandkids and our grandkids. And those are the things that are important to me. So I do a lot of volunteering of my time, and I do that for fun.
I can't agree more. A big thing I love doing is raising money for charities. I once raised money for the Boys and Girls Club. It's cool to see the impact you can have on kids. I would love to hear from you. What's a time in your life where you donated money or you gave money towards a cause, and maybe it was at a ceremony or you made an impact on one individual who you'll never forget it, or it was emotional for you and it's something that was a pivotal moment in your life where you realized, wow, like this is why I do what I do?
Wow. Yes, you mentioned the Boys and Girls Club. I have also donated quite a bit to the Boys and Girls Club of Los Angeles.
Wow. Amazing.
Thank you.
It
is. That really touches me. And doing mentorship with inner city kids, the impact that has on their lives, and thinking to one of the most pivotal, heartwarming, was just mentoring a young girl who didn't have good parents. It was not looking good, the outcome, and just seeing that life be transformed, and the light in her eyes after realizing that she can love herself and get out of that environment and grow and become successful. That changed me.
Whew, that's powerful. We have an exact story where the same thing happened to me in a room with 4 kids and a girl. Her parents were deported. And so she didn't have many figures in her life. And the fact that I told her that she could do anything she set her mind to, she was literally in tears. And so why I support the Boys and Girls Club and love them so much, as you can see too, is they just need a role model in their life. And if they have the role model, it can completely change your life for the better.
Awesome. Hey, Michelle, you get a quick phone call, like you bounce right back to Brandon.
Brandon, sorry, I have got to run. I've got a phone call coming in.
Okay, take your call. By the way, amazing talking to you.
Yeah.
Thank you. It was great talking to you too. Right. We'll talk again soon.
Hey, Brandon, great job. How'd that feel for you?
Amazing. It's cool that we both were a part of the Boys and Girls Club and supported that. That's true and dear to me. And just having a conversation, like a real conversation, is great.
Cool. And Michelle, how'd that feel for you if you were to give one word for the connection?
Deep. It felt like we have that Boys and Girls Club thing in common. So that is deep for me.
Cool. Awesome. Alex, who would you like Michelle to be in this round 1?
You're on mute.
Hi. So it would relate to my business. Is that the interaction we're talking about? Or
it could be anything you want. So certainly could be. So ideal client avatar, it could be anything. Could be raising money for charity. But yes, many people select their business for sure.
Oh, okay. Why don't I? And this would be with Michelle.
Yes, Michelle.
With anybody. Hi, Michelle.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Michelle can be a. Let's see, an investor.
Awesome. All right, Michelle, you're an investor. Alex, please take us in.
Great. Hi, Michelle. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you, Alex? It's good to talk.
I'm doing. Yeah, same here. I'm looking at some. I was just actually understanding what you are basically looking for, and I just wanted to get some input from you on what might interest you in one of the properties that you'd looked at. Is there something specifically that you want to keep in mind with as far as what you might be looking for? And
well, I'm actually looking into several properties. They're going to be rental homes.
okay.
I mean, I'm working on sheltering some of my money, obviously. So I'm trying to build up as much real estate as I possibly can, and rent those properties out and make more money.
Terrific. So for you, it's more important to have something that actually provides the best return rather than something that you might eventually live in yourself. So you're really not concerned about something that would appeal to you aesthetically, but things that you might find attractive as far as numbers and return. Is that a safe assumption?
Exactly. Aesthetics is important to me because I still do feel like I don't want just any tenants living in the houses. That's more work. That's more money that's going to have to be invested if anything happens to it. So I feel like you get a higher level of tenant when the quality of the house is a little better. So those things, yes, they're important. I do want to keep the cost down as much as possible. And also have that higher end. I won't go high end. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, there's a law of diminishing return. I mean, you've got a point where you can maximize your returns, and depending on where you're located, highest and best use, which is the term that every property has, and sometimes the highest and best use is actually the land, and in a case like that, your rents might not cover the cost because, as you mentioned, depending on the area, the lower risk is going to probably bring you a lower return. So, and then on the other extreme, there's properties that have a higher risk as far as amenities and location, which could maybe on paper maximize return, but sometimes it doesn't pan out that way because the likelihood of getting a return at all could be diminished as well. So it's like that sweet spot that I usually focus on that might be of interest to you.
Hey, Michelle, you get a quick phone call. You can bounce back to Alex in a moment.
Alex, I've got to jump. I've got a phone call, but I am very interested in all the information that you have to offer. So let's talk again.
Thank you. Nice chatting with you. Take care, Michelle.
Yeah, Alex, how'd that feel for you?
It felt good. I mean, in my industry, especially if I'm dealing with an investor base, it has a lot to do with there has to be a rapport that's established, but at the same time, a person's skill set tends to be something an investor might want to listen to rather than my ability to talk about Little League with their kids and whatnot, because it's more of a dollars and cents. Does a good personality help? Absolutely. But they're hiring me to do something, which is to provide them with an asset, that and a skill set that'll get them the best possibilities for them.
For sure. Okay, we'll unpack some of this in a bit. Sheridan, are you ready to go? Give some feedback, 30 seconds each for these fine folks. Are you ready to go, Sheridan? You unmuted?
Sorry about that. Yes, I'm ready. Great job, both of you. So I thought the opening with establishing rapport and trying to ask an emotional to tap into how she was feeling was really successful because she was able to immediately feel some connection toward you and your cause. And I think that was really well done. So I would give that, a 9.
Nice.
And then, I'm sorry?
Yeah, and for Alex?
Okay. And for Alex, so I thought that if you could have taken a little more time to try to find a bridge to something that she truly cared about that would resonate with her on some emotional level, might have been more successful in this exercise. That being said, I thought you did a fantastic job of demonstrating your expertise, and clearly someone who's going to do a large transaction with anyone wants to feel confident that the person has that level of proficiency. So because the point of this first exercise was establishing rapport, I would give this a 7.
Yeah, makes sense.
Thank you for that. Joshua, what 30 seconds of feedback do you have for Brandon? 15 seconds maybe on what worked, 15 seconds what could be optimized, and a score, please.
Sure. So the one thing that I actually loved about Brandon is, number one, he automatically found the connection. And I don't know if he was doing this subliminally, but he's going ahead and letting the investor basically virtue signal, because everybody loves to virtue signal and be the hero of the story, as well as it seemed like you were psychologically setting her up to feel like there was a positive reaction to saying yes to something. Honestly, I would give this about a 9.7.
Boom, Joshua. Excellent. Great job, Brandon. And for Alex.
Sure. And as for Alex, so I do love the fact that you were positioning yourself as an authority. And I thought that did come across strong. The only thing that I would suggest is at least taking their temperature a little bit. And I would, I automatically think of questions like, hey, what do you think about the market with the pandemic? Where do you see it going? Because it would allow them to maybe tell you a little bit more, information, so you could steer the conversation. I'm going to say 7.3.
Very nice job, Joshua. And Shiny, what say you for Brandon? 30 seconds, my friend.
Enjoy the powerful connections. She went really deep and she connected. What I would recommend to do even better is when she drops to the heart, drop to your heart as well. She was a little bit deeper than where you were. You were up in the air. She was more grounded, but you were excellent for rapport building. I teach at UCLA and I certify coaches. I'm going to give you a 9.4. So excellent job. For Alex, as you know, this was an exercise to build rapport. As much as we understand you wanted to position yourself as an expert and authority, still the role-playing intention was to build that rapport, and you kind of like missed it. You didn't ask questions. You didn't really care about who she is, although you had actually great tip from Brandon. So next time, please remember that. And also, I'm going to give you 6.9.
Right, but we're back for round 2. And now in this second round, it is about like your amazingness and who and what you are, and moving to that yes in agreement formation. So Michelle is back. Alex, ready to roll in round 2.
Oh, okay. So basically right now I am moving forward with after the phone call.
Yeah, she's back now. And in the second round, the judge is going to be assessing how effectively you convey your amazingness, like who and what you want in the world, and moving to agreement. Yeah. So please take us in.
Hi, Michelle. How are you? It's good to chat with you again. I hope I didn't get too far into the brass tacks of what we were doing, and I apologize for that. I'm obviously you're looking for an investment property, and I get so charged by it. It's exciting to find the right sweet spot for my clients. So
thank you for acknowledging that. I appreciate that you said that right now. I also can appreciate your passion. So I'm excited to learn more of what you have to say. I haven't done a ton of real estate investing before, so I'm still kind of a beginner on it. Any information that you have that can help me invest in property better than more optimal than I would have. Speaking to you would be very appreciated.
It depends what your comfort zone is as well, because as you know, getting into the brass tacks now again, it depends what you'd like to interact with, what kind of demographics you're comfortable with as far as socioeconomically. I've got investors that work certain areas in the inner city, a lot of work involved, definitely some return to compensate for that. And then I've got other people that literally just want to kind of safeguard their asset, and maybe we'll purchase in one of the higher tier areas. But the return, of course, probably won't be there. But again, that sweet spot is usually what I'd recommend. But it depends on your comfort zone. What would you like to do as far as an environment? What is what you're comfortable with? Yeah.
Well, my main objective is to shelter some income. So that's why I really want to invest. Maybe apartments are the way for me to go. These are different things that I'm willing to explore and very curious to explore. I would prefer they're not in inner city areas. I would prefer they're maybe in higher income areas. But again, if that's not best for my investment or my return, then I'm listening to you.
Yes, and that's why I recommend typically just middle of the road working class areas. They tend to be the best returns for the money and the least headaches in my experience, where you're actually getting a return. So what I could do is I could give you some ideas of some areas and put together sort of a breakdown of a worksheet of what one can expect as far as rental income and get it over to you. And you can take a look at it and let me know what you're interested in. Most of these properties don't allow you to go inside until you write an offer, as the tenants and the owners don't want the tenants to be impacted by people just looking. But otherwise, I can send you a great breakdown of maybe 5 properties in the area that you might be interested in, and email those to you.
I would absolutely love that. I've got to run. But
okay.
Yeah, please send those right on over.
I will get those to you, and it was great chatting with you. And please call on me. I will be in touch with you in just a very short while.
Thank you, Alex.
Thanks, Michelle.
Round 2, Alex. Your energy was outstanding. Emotional, energetic transference present. Great job. How'd that feel for you?
For myself, I felt I still, I'm at the point in my career where I'm not really. People come to me for advice. So the part about the rapport going back, it would have been better. It felt a little awkward because I did want to get to the rapport, but I was kind of doing it upside down. So that was a little awkward for me. But I totally understood what the first project was, exercise. And now I get it if we'd start over.
Awesome job, brother. Excellent. So thank you for that. And clearly you are a rock star at what you do, without a shadow of a doubt.
Thank you.
Yes. Brandon, are you ready for round 2? Michelle's back.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, take us in, please.
Michelle, thank you before talking with me and sharing your experience with the Boys and Girls Club. One thing we have in common is we both have put in the time and resources into the Boys and Girls Club. We've both written checks for the club. I'll tell you, the one experience for me that was realized what success meant to me was the day my wife and I went to the Boys and Girls Club after spending weeks with them and donating our time with them. And we wrote a check for almost $40,000 for the club. And the impact it did for those people, and seeing it's more than people donate towards causes, but when you can see the actual impact it can do to those kids, it's priceless. And so a background for me, how I even got into producing shows and winning Emmy Awards is I started in fundraising. I was fundraising for charities. I was fundraising for launches. And I was doing these crowdfunding campaigns. And I saw the key component to fundraising was the video, was creating videos that emotional connection and can really impact people's lives. Very grateful to say that it led me to raising tens of millions of dollars for different companies, different causes, and working with some of the most magnificent companies out there, tech companies. And one of the key things that we do for our fund and investing in different companies is, one, we only invest in companies if they are doing something that's going to make an impact in the world. I'm not going to go invest in another McDonald's or something, a fast food that's not going to really help somebody. we invest in things that have a social impact, but also give a return for our investors. And so, Michelle, have you been a part of any investments that you put towards that were giving back towards different causes?
I only like to invest in anything in companies that are giving back.
Okay. Well, so you do invest with the Boys and Girls Club?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. So that's one thing we have in common. I'll tell you. So what we do is right now we have a portfolio of about a dozen companies, and we have right now 4 of them that we're projecting a 9 or 10 figure exit. And we actually have an application for people to invest with us. People are knocking our doors and trying to give us money to get in on our investments, but we pick them by hand. We pick people that have the same commonalities between us and they want to give back. And one thing which I didn't plan on is we both have given to the Boys and Girls Club. So I usually have to have somebody to give it okay. I usually can't be the first person to do it. But while here before, I text my other investment partners and told them about you. And I said, I would love to invite Michelle to invest in our company. So my, I guess, opportunity I'd like to show to you and offer is we are looking for another investor to invest in our company where we look to get a 10x return in the next 18 months. Would you be willing to invest $100,000 into our fund to help exponentially grow your profits?
I am very interested. I would like to learn a little bit more. I'd like to learn a little bit more about your company. And then we can go from there, but I am interested.
Thank you.
All right. Awesome job, Brandon. How'd that feel for you?
Oh, good.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's pretty cool that we both wrote in checks for the Boys and Girls Club too. I didn't make that up. That's true.
Yeah, that is super cool. It's awesome.
Same. I sponsor events for them. I do what I can. I love it.
Yeah, we did an event in Metro Phoenix, the Boys and Girls Club Metro Phoenix, and that's where we did a fundraiser. We raised a bunch of money, and it's actually on our show. Our show shows it.
That's awesome. That's awesome, brother. Okay, Brandon, we play a little fun game where I'll be you for a minute and want to play with a couple concepts. Is that okay?
Let's do it.
Yeah. So how about you be Michelle?
Yeah.
We'll call you Michael, right? So we'll make the male version. So you'll be Michael, but you're the same avatar as Michelle. And okay. I'll step into your identity just on a couple micro distinctions that applies to what Alex is talking about. And this is like what we unpack here. So let's go with, we briefly met, and this is a quick 3-minute conversation. I won't make it 6, we'll make it 3. So, hey, Michael, thanks so much for taking my call. It was a pleasure meeting you on The Real Raw. I really enjoyed it. I thought you did a great job, and thanks for taking my call.
Hey, it's my pleasure.
Yeah. So listen, I think you know what I do a little bit, but what I want to explore a bit more is getting to know you. I know you have this thing called Uber for Lawyers. I know you have 7,500 lawyers you've done business with across the country. And I know you grew up in an incredibly difficult environment, single mom. It's a remarkable story. And if I could just ask you this, because I didn't get this from the show, why do you do all this? Like, what's still driving you? Because it seems like you've achieved a beautiful level of success. You have a great life. Why are you on The Real Raw? Like, why are you still driving forward?
Yeah, I do it for my beautiful wife, and I do it for my niece and nephew that don't have a mother or father in their life. That's my drive.
Wow, extraordinary. And if this all goes the way you want it to, like, this next 50 years, 100 years of life, maybe you're blessed, like, what happens from here?
Keep living life, keep doing the things that I do, and making an impact that influences people like my loved ones, and so they can live a better life when I am gone.
Awesome. So, as you map that out, building your business and the things you're doing charitably, if I could ask this question, what are the types of people that you get inspired to work with? I know you're doing stuff with Sean, clearly. He's got a lot of energy. He's up to stuff. Like, who is it that you like to align with and work with?
Yeah, I like to align with people that work on projects like filmmakers that create films that make a positive impact in people's lives, which we've done before in terms of raising money or inspiring people to go do great things with their life.
Yeah. And well, thank you for that. And I know we only got about 60 seconds left, Michael, but could I just drop in a little bit on what I'm up to in the world?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So I'm hearing your alignment. I'm hearing your desire for impact, your love of your family. And in terms of what I'm up to, I think there's great alignment. What I stand for in the world at this point is disruption. And I think that there's a fundamental misunderstanding that people have about the financial markets and about how they make investment decisions. And the hardest part about all this, especially traveling in circles where people are merging ecosystems and creating depth of connection, is everybody finds somebody really quickly who's raising money. And so one of my great challenges is that when I communicate with people and I talk about raising money, I could feel like this default no come up and resistance began. So what I'm going to share with you is if you give me 15 minutes, I'm going to demonstrate to you some very unique distinctions about how our fund functions. And if I'm not telling the truth, then never take my phone call again. But in those 15 minutes, I'm hoping to buy perhaps an hour-long conversation about it and why we'd be seeking the minimums that we are and why we think there can be a multiple on that return. So does that sound, Michael, like it might be worth 15 minutes of your time?
Definitely. It would be worth 15 minutes. I'd love to do a call with you.
Okay, awesome. All right, pause. Brandon, how did that feel for you?
It was good. It felt great. The conversation flowed. I like how you brought around the conversation. You can definitely tell that you are an expert at what you do. And yeah, it was great.
Okay, cool. And I'm not raising money, so I'm not a fundraiser. So just want to be clear on that. So thank you for that. So actually, let's check in. Joshua, what feedback do you have for fine folks?
So let me go ahead and start with Alex. I do have to commend you because you came back, brother. And I know that you're obviously already a stud in your field. So to watch you step in here, it's almost like you went from playing cricket to coming over and playing baseball, and you hit a really solid double. And your willingness to apologize and say, sorry if I was blah, 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 actually puts you now in a vulnerable position, which actually makes people a lot more trusting of you. So I commend you on that. And then, I mean, obviously, there's somewhat of an unfair advantage here because I already know Brandon is a prolific, powerful speaker on the circuit. We run in some of the same circles. So really, like, he's going to knock it out of the park every single time. So, Brandon, I give you 2 thumbs up. Okay. Very, very big thumbs. Very, very big thumbs.
Excellent. Thank you, Joshua. And hey, Joshua. Oh, there's some echo. So Joshua, how was today in the Real Raw for you?
What was the question? Sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry. There's some echo in the background. I was saying, how was your experience today being on the Real Raw? And thank you so much for being here.
Brother, you guys make entrepreneurs, just the whole entrepreneurial adventure fun. This is better than Shark Tank.
Well, thank you. And it's ironic you say that because we have an offshoot Silicon Valley startup, which maybe, just maybe, somebody related to that will be making an announcement next week, just invested in a big way. So we'll be talking about that shortly. But yeah, we're standing in it. A lot of great things are happening. And Joshua, I am not confused about who you are, what you're up to in the world. And I'm very grateful that you took the time today. Appreciate you being here, sir. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Shiny, what feedback do you have for Alex and Brandon, please?
I'm going to start with Alex again. Alex, kudos to you. It shows how growth mindset you are operating from. Growth mindset is taking the learning and applying immediately and feeling totally okay with apologizing, which we are drawn to as human beings. We trust and love to work with people who actually own up their mistakes and learn from it. And you simply said to Michelle that apologizing to you means a lot because I want to work with you. I want your business. And that really showed who you are. And I appreciated that. And because of that, you also earned her business. And I want to give you an 8.9 for that as well.
Thank you.
Good job. Great job.
Yeah.
And for Brandon, you are a rock star, and I am very sure that you know that. I would love to tell you what Sean did versus what you did. I see two main differences. Sean chunked down the information and the timing that he requested from Michelle into 15 minutes and 1 hour and more hours following that. So that's a great strategy, especially when you are in a situation you need to be talking more and you need to explain more. That's the one thing that I believe you can, from now on, we all learned from Sean, you can apply. And the second thing I saw that what he did versus maybe you missed was that he asked permission. He kept asking permission. Is that okay if I talk about what I do? Is that okay if I share what I am going to talk to you about is going to benefit you? So it's all permission, permission, permission. And he speaks, he asks, and then he stops. He speaks, he asks, and he stops. It's a two-way conversation rather than you speaking and ongoing about your authority, which was brilliant, by the way. I just noticed those two differences. That's why I wanted to share with you. But you were a rock star. You gained another 9.4 from me. So
Brandon,
great job.
Shiny, you're a rock star. Brandon, Alex, rock stars. We have our own unique language at Unblinded in what we do. And I've been studying this for 23 years and creating, and Shiny, you're a professor at UCLA in it. Brilliant, brilliant person. Thank you for those micro distinctions. And we have one of our fun quotes is hashtag change the language.
Yeah.
Hashtag change the language.
Mm-hmm.
So some of the language changes that we're up to are the elimination of pitch, close, shifting into different vibrational language, because those languages sound like we're opposed to somebody. Like we're on this side of like the magic trick and there's an audience and the manipulation and like tricks and things being done versus authentically aligning with people. So thank you for saying that, Shiny. And each time we're checking in, that gives our level 5 listening an opportunity to hear if they're with us, to hear if they're with us, to hear if they're with us.
Yes.
So, Shiny, thank you. And we got to do more.
Definitely.
It's been
I'll be here.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Always learning from you, Sean. You're so amazing. Thank you for being you.
Yeah, thank you. And how was your experience today, Shiny?
My experience was definitely growing. As I said, every time I'm here, I learn, I grow, and I connect to these beautiful human souls. I saw how Brandon was masterful, and then I also saw how Alex learned and applied right away. It just shows what you're all about and what this show is all about. And your distinctions are phenomenal. Priceless.
Thank you. Sheridan. Yeah. Thank you. How was today for you, and what feedback do you have for Alex and Brandon?
Today's been wonderful. Great learning experience for myself and meeting wonderful people. And in terms of Brandon, I really have very little to add. Obviously he's very masterful. I do think perhaps slowing the cadence just a little bit in that interaction so it feels less sales oriented and more from the heart. And then in terms of Alex, of course, fantastic that he took all of that feedback and created a little better entree the next time to that follow-up conversation. My constructive feedback on that would be if you have some qualifying kinds of questions so that it feels like you are asking questions about what that person really needs and cares about and wants, rather than just making a statement of it kind of depends on you and your comfort level. But you can actually help them determine that. You can help them crystallize that through using the correct questions maybe you've put together in advance. So in terms of the scoring, pretty similar to what everybody else has said here, a 9 and an 8.4.
No, awesome. Sheridan, again, thank you so much. Brandon, thank you for your courage, vulnerability, being here. And how was today for you, sir?
Amazing. It was cool because I came in being a judge, and then last minute we didn't do rock, paper, scissors, but Josh forced me to do the contestant role, which I complied with. So I pulled something out of what to I guess pitch, but it was really cool to see. I love the feedback. Thank you, Shiny. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, everybody, for the feedback. It's great to see Sean, obviously a master at being on stages and selling for Tony Robbins, and then also for you, Shiny, being an NLB coach and just your years of experience and what you've done. I don't know you. I just obviously already followed you on Instagram, so I know your background there. But it's good to hear. So great feedback. Thank you guys. I've took notes here in terms of the asking for permission and things that it's good to hear again. And Sean, I just want to mention, so you on that stage, I talk about that story all the time. My director shot Operation OUR.
Is that right?
Yeah. So Nick Nanton was my partner for my first TV show, Ambitious Adventures. And then Sean Vella, who was over there, he filmed our show. So when the episode we won an Emmy for, he actually filmed in that country 4 days prior to filming with us. So I got to hear, like, they had bulletproof vests on, they went in. He was there for it. But to meet the guy that raised the money, kudos to you, man. That's a huge thing. And I always talk about the power of storytelling and how it can raise money for great causes.
Yeah, thank you, brother. And Tony Robbins actually went in undercover with Operation OUR, like into a mission one time, and he's been such an unbelievable supporter of what they've done. And at his birthday, so what I did with the 1.7 million was a drop in the bucket in comparison to what happened at Tony's birthday a month later. $20 million was raised for Operation Underground Railroad at Tony Robbins' birthday in Los Angeles. Shiny.
Yes. I saw it.
Crazy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That is so epic.
Wild. Well, thank you, Brandon. It's a pleasure.
Yes, thank you, John.
Thank you. Yeah. And Alex, how was today for you?
Great. It was a great interaction. I don't get a lot of time to do something like this where I can actually hone in a skill set that allows me to reach out and bridge with somebody. So it was very valuable. Thank you for that.
Thank you for your wisdom and your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Michelle, final.
Yes. Wow. Every single time I do one of these, I learn more. I become better. I don't have enough good things to say about this. I keep, when I first started out, I didn't really want to do too many because my nerves and stuff, and now I'm like volunteering, like, let me do more. What else can I do? Get me on there now. So I absolutely love it. You're so masterful, and just watching you in these distinctions is inspiring.
Michelle, you're inspiring what you overcame to build what you built. Most law firms never get past having one other attorney, and you know that. The vast majority of law firms in the U.S. are one-person solo practitioner, which I honor and support that work. For you to build an enterprise where you have agreements with 7,500 lawyers that you've worked with is mind-boggling, particularly with all that you've overcome. So thank you for being here. Thank you all. And if this is the end of our journey, let's always remember that we're all blind and just learning to see. But hopefully this is just the beginning for us. So have a beautiful, beautiful Y Wednesday. Thank you.